The sea was calling, not a whisper, but a deep northern growl that seemed to echo through the marrow of my bones. It was a summons that couldn't be ignored, a challenge issued by the wildest waters on Earth. I'd spent years chasing river monsters, but the ocean's legends were bigger. Tales of red king crabs in the Bering Sea, giants with claws that could snap bone and shells as tough as armor. These were creatures forged by the cold and the dark, survivors of a world few dared to enter. The mission was clear: venture into one of the world's most dangerous waters and land a true king of the seafloor. Out here, every wave was a test, every gust of wind a reminder of nature's power. Preparation was everything. Every piece of gear was checked and double-checked. A single failure could mean disaster. The ocean is unforgiving, and even the smallest oversight can become a life-or-death situation in seconds. The cold seeped into your bones, numbing fingers and faces, but the promise of seeing a creature built for survival in the abyss was irresistible. It was a test of endurance, both physical and mental, against the relentless elements. My journey began at a remote Alaskan port, a town built on fishing, where king crab stories were daily life. Here, the ocean shaped every aspect of existence, and the people lived by its rhythms. Local fishermen spoke of the crab's power and cunning with a mix of awe and caution. Their tales were warnings as much as they were legends, passed down through generations. Standing on the dock, anticipation washed over me. Beyond the harbor lay a wild, untamed frontier. The horizon promised both danger and discovery, and I felt the weight of what was to come. The king crab was the apex predator here, a knight of the deep, armored and ancient. It ruled the shadowy world beneath the waves, a living relic of a harsher age. My goal, not just to catch one, but to understand what it takes to survive down there, to witness firsthand the struggle for life in the cold, crushing depths. The boat was ready, the crew assembled, and the hunt for the monster king crab was about to begin. Ahead of us lay uncertainty, but also the thrill of adventure and the hope of encountering a true legend of the northern seas. Our vessel was the Sea Serpent, steel, scarred, and built for battle. On deck, cranes and winches dominated, everything designed for one purpose: to pull giants from the depths. Captain Eva led us, her calm focus born from a lifetime at sea. Marco, her second, was the muscle, handling the dangerous machinery. Deckhands Liam and Finn worked with practiced speed, every pot a chance at fortune. Teamwork was survival. A single mistake could mean disaster. As we left harbor, the crew moved with quiet intensity, securing gear and preparing bait. The Bering Sea in late autumn is unpredictable. Storms can appear in minutes. Yet the crew showed no fear, only determination. They were hunters in their element. I was there to observe and learn. The real work was about to begin. The journey to the fishing grounds took a full day. Endless gray water, sky, and anticipation stretching out before us. The ocean seemed infinite, the horizon blurring into the clouds, and every mile brought a mix of excitement and nerves. The crew moved quietly, each person lost in their own thoughts, knowing what lay ahead would test us all. Captain Ava searched for the perfect spot, guided by instinct, years of experience, and a deep respect for the sea. She studied the charts and watched the water, reading subtle signs only seasoned captains notice. When she finally found it, the deck erupted into action. Everyone snapped to their stations, adrenaline surging as the moment arrived. Crab pots, massive steel cages, were baited with herring and squid, their scent a dinner bell for crabs below. Each pot was carefully packed, the bait arranged to lure in as many crabs as possible. Dropping the pots was a dangerous dance. A wrong move could be fatal. The heavy cages swung above the deck, and every hand had to be sure and steady. The crew worked flawlessly, each pot plunging into the abyss, marked by a buoy. The rhythm was precise, a practiced choreography honed by countless seasons at sea. Dozens of pots disappeared into the deep, hours of work now resting out of sight. Each buoy bobbed on the surface, a silent marker of hope and hard labor. All we could do was wait, the ocean deciding our fate. The deck grew quiet. the energy shifting from action to anxious anticipation. As the last buoy bobbed away, a hush fell over the deck. The crew watched in silence, knowing the hardest part was just beginning. The first part of the hunt was over. Muscles ached, but spirits remained high, each person hoping for a good haul. Now came the hardest part, waiting for the reveal. Every minute felt longer than the last, as we wondered what the sea would give back. The sea held its secrets, for now. All we could do was trust our work and hope the ocean would be generous when the time came. Waiting was torture. 36 hours of cold, restless sea. The weather worsened, but the crew kept busy, maintaining gear and sharing stories. Finally, it was time to pull. The winch groaned as the first pot rose from 400 feet down. When it broke the surface, it was packed. A writhing mass of red king crabs. The crew sorted quickly. Females and small males back to the sea, keepers to the tank. The largest crabs were bigger than anything I'd seen. This was just the first pot. If the rest were like this, we were in for an incredible haul. The sight of these giants fueled our anticipation. The hunt was on, and the sea was delivering, but the real monster was still out there. We pressed on, hungry for more. Pot after pot, the catch grew. Captain Eva's instincts were spot on. The weather turned brutal. Waves crashed over the rails, making every step dangerous. On the 10th pot, the winch strained. Something massive was coming up. The anticipation was electric. Everyone stopped to watch. The pot broke the surface, packed tighter than any before. One crab dwarfed the rest, an emperor among kings. Its legs spanned nearly 6 feet, its claw the size of a melon. Getting it out was a struggle. It fought every inch. When it finally hit the table, it was magnificent, and a little terrifying. This was the monster we'd come for. But the sea was raging, and handling it would be the hardest challenge yet. The battle wasn't over. We had our legend. But the storm was just beginning. Survival was now the real test. The giant crab was a trophy, a catch that would be talked about for years, but moving it was perilous and required every ounce of skill and caution the crew could muster. Marco and Liam used a long hook to avoid its crushing claws, struggling to lift its immense weight as the crab thrashed and snapped, refusing to surrender easily. As they carried it to the tank, a huge wave slammed the boat. Liam lost his footing, the crab crashed to the deck, claws snapping dangerously close to his hands and boots. The chaos echoing across the slippery deck. Marco reacted fast, pulling the crab away before it could do any damage. Finn rushed over, helping Liam up, hearts pounding from the near miss. The close call was sobering, a reminder of the sea's power and the razor-thin line between triumph and disaster out here. With renewed caution and teamwork, the crew finally managed to get the monster into the holding tank, securing it with ropes and locking the lid tight. We'd secured our prize, but the sea wasn't done with us. The sky darkened, and the wind howled louder, promising more trouble ahead. Triumph was fleeting. A new problem was brewing below deck. Water was seeping in, and the crew's relief quickly turned to worry as they scrambled to assess the damage. The monster was in the boat, but we were not yet safe. Every eye was on the crab and the rising water, tension thick in the salty air. The storm raged on, and the real danger was about to reveal itself. The boat groaned under the weight of the sea and the catch. Our victory was fragile, hanging by a thread. Every man on deck felt the gravity of the moment, knowing the sea could take it all away in an instant. The sea demanded respect, and it was about to collect. We could only hope our luck would hold a little longer. We braced for what came next, hearts pounding as the storm closed in around us. Relief was short-lived. A loud clank, a shudder, then silence. The engine died. We were adrift in a raging Bering Sea storm. Captain Ava stayed calm, sending Marco below to assess the damage. The gearbox was shattered, no fix at sea. We were at the mercy of the storm, tossed like a toy. Eva radioed for help, her voice steady amid chaos. Waves battered the boat, Gear flew, and our prize catch was tossed in the hold. Triumph faded, survival was all that mattered. We clung to hope and the skill of our captain. The sea was in control now. All we could do was wait for rescue. Our fate hung in the balance. As we drifted, I thought about the monster crab below. It had survived decades in the abyss, armored against pressure and predators. We, by contrast, were fragile, dependent on technology, helpless when it failed. King crabs aren't true crabs, but relatives of hermit crabs, walking on 6 legs, scavenging the sea floor. Their adaptability is their strength. They molt to grow, embracing vulnerability to become stronger. The crew too, adapted, never panicking, always focused on what they could control. Survival here meant respecting the sea, not fighting it. The crab's life was a lesson. Endure, adapt, wait for your chance. Both the monster in the hold and the crew on deck were masters of survival. The storm was a test for all of us. In the wild, resilience is everything. We waited, learning from the king below. The sea would decide our fate. At dawn, a Coast Guard cutter appeared, a lifeline in the storm. The rescue was tense, but they secured a tow and pulled us to safety. Back in harbor, exhausted and battered, we were greeted as heroes. The monster crab drew a crowd, living proof of the wild's power. But our triumph was humbling. We survived by luck and teamwork, not conquest. The crab hadn't asked to be part of our story, but it taught us about fragility and respect. The wild operates by its own rules. We are only guests. The true reward was the lesson: respect nature, learn from it, and know your place. We returned with a prize, but the ocean's lesson was clear. We are not its masters, and that is a privilege we should never take for granted.